Today, Wednesday, 5th October 2022, is observed internationally as World Teachers' Day. I take this opportunity on behalf of SLTU to salute all educators, to our guidance counselors, principals, teachers, those who work in special education, and whatever capacity that you hold within the education system. This morning, on World Teachers' Day, I say thank you for your contribution to this profession. Thank you for going beyond the call of duty to ensure the survival of education in this country. Don't just do it for yourselves, but we are recording this, so let's give our colleagues who are out there a round of applause as well. Let us be reminded that the SLTU stands on two pillars that guide what we do as an organization. The first pillar is the professional pillar. Hence, for this reason, the SLTU always encourage professional standards among its members and within the education system. Our job as professionals go beyond the walls of the classroom. What we do, what we say, where and how we say it, and how we perform our task help to shape our nation. We are not ordinary professionals. Therefore, respect and appreciation for teachers should be given at all levels. It is when we must demand respect the second pillar kicks in. Because the work of the SLTU is firmly grounded in trade unionism. Hence, the reason we continue to express our trade union spirit. The trade union spirit requires that we work as one unit to ensure the rights of teachers are always preserved and teachers are given the respect and support they deserve. The SLTU continues its agitation for better school environment. We have had to, in recent times, place demands on the Ministry of Education to improve the physical environments of many schools. The SLTU continues to raise its voice on the issues of school security. The SLTU continues to raise its voice on matters of school discipline. A teacher should not be subjected to any form of abuse while on the job. Again, I call on the Ministry of Education to take a firm stance as it relates to student discipline in this country. As the SLTU, we will engage our members on this, and as they come up, we will speak to our members. And let me make it clear to the Ministry of Education that all options for the SLTU remain on the table if we are not satisfied with the stance that they take as it relates to student discipline. Recognizing the efforts of teachers during the recent pandemic, the SLTU partnered with the Canadian Teachers Federation to engage in an in-depth study of the impact of COVID-19 on teachers. We are the only, and again, the SLTU setting records. We are the only teachers' union in the region who would have conducted an in-depth research in this manner. And I dare say, the only other trade union that I know who did something similar is that of the Canadian Teachers Federation. So the St.LuciaTeachersUnion is setting a trend because you hear research on impact of workers, factory workers during the pandemic, but nothing is published on the impact of teachers during the pandemic. and the St. Lucia Teachers Union is leading the way in that regard. I thank the Canadian Teachers Federation for its support, and I also thank Sister Jennifer Raphael, who served as the research officer for the project. The pandemic was difficult for all of us. I never imagined that I would serve as president during a pandemic. Never. And so I was expecting my big drama, and that was not my style at all. I will admit that. So there were many lessons learned. Hence, the research will help the SLTU to put structures in place to support members. The raw data from the research points to the high level of psychosocial trauma experienced by teachers. The research also highlights the growing feeling among teachers of being underappreciated. They felt that they were disrespected during the pandemic. Importantly, they were given no rewards for using their own resources to keep the education system afloat. Based on the findings, the SLTU has already started its work. And we haven't published yet, but we start working action planning to ensure that we support our members moving forward and learning from the lessons of the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, the SLTU is calling on the Ministry of Education and Government to do the following. And that's just two of them I'm doing today, two of them. One, they need to expand the Employee Assistance Program that was initially negotiated by the St. Lucia Teachers Union, but handed out to everybody in the public service. That has to be expanded to ensure that teachers can benefit. Two, provide teachers with some concessions. The St. Lucia Teachers Union will also do the following, members, because while we advocate out there for the employer to do and support us, we must also, as an organization, do some things to support our members. And I can tell you that the executive, we already started putting a plan of action in order to ensure that the lessons learned from the research, we can have structures in place within the organization to support you. And so the SLTU, and you will hear more about it in the coming days, the SLTU 1 will expand its disaster committee. Before it was just natural disasters. Now we have to look at the outbreak of diseases, how we reach our members during that time. So we must ensure that we have this committee activated and working. And there are various levels at which this committee must operate: communication, resources, and what have you. That is very much needed within the organization. 1. 2, explore the possibility of providing counseling support for our members. All right, and while we note, and I will tell you, members, that would be expensive to maintain, but we have already initiated discussions with a group of persons to see how best we can bring this in to the organization, that we can have our own EAP program aside from what the government must do for its employees. 3, we are also, given the increased number of industrial relations matters that we must deal with on a daily basis, the organization would be naive to think it can function with just one person on secondment servicing the entire island. We would have to support industrial relations within the organization that regard. And so in the next few days, we would be advertising publicly for someone to assist in the position of industrial relations within the SLTU, to better support you, our members. And also, 4, the executive we have already put in place a calendar of activities focused on capacity building. We want to ensure that on any given day, that the organization has a cadre of leaders that can continue to lead this organization from today and beyond. Isn't that so, members? All right? Right. So we are working to ensure that this organization remains vibrant, remains strong, remains the voice of teachers within the country. So this World Teachers' Day, let us also salute those who have gone before us. It's important that we always remember them and give them due recognition when we are supposed to, because they laid the foundation on which we stand on today. So to them, I say thank you. And of course, for the recording, we can give them a round of applause too. Teachers, you are special. You are extraordinary. You are conquerors, as you were told at our ecumenical service. And you are the nation builders. Let us celebrate. Let us rally with the organization. Our last lap will be at our rally. And I expect to see you, because I have some more things to say. And I will say it in a rally spirit. Okay? But I thank you for your work. And as we move on building this profession, I wish you a happy World Teachers' Day. Long live the SLTU.
Long live.
Long live the teachers of this nation.
Long live.
Forward ever.
Backward never.
My colleagues, brothers and sisters, I thank you. Happy World Teachers' Day.